difficult times, he's gonna make it.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So, welcome everyone. I'm Monique Cardona, sales agent and office manager at Remax Bayside. Thank you for joining us today. Before we begin, just a quick note, please type in any questions in the chat as we go. We'll answer all your questions towards the end of the webinar. And a little bit about myself, I've been in real estate for 20 years. I'm originally from Miami, moved to Apollo Beach about 6 years ago. I'll be hosting educational webinars for buyers showing you can purchase a home with little to no money down. So with that, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Kerry Yassin, mortgage loan originator and director of sales and business development with the Rice Financial Group. He's going to share information on the USDA program. Thank you for joining us today, Kerry.
Thank you for Monique for having me. I'm so excited to be here, to join you, to join you guys and be able to share. So thank you for having me.
Nice, thank you.
Absolutely. So here's what I want to share. So kind of jumping right into it. So hello everyone, and again, thank you so much for joining Monique and I today. I'd like to say that for you just joining this call, you've taken time to invest in your future home, and then that tells Monique and I that you are actually serious about buying. And I don't just believe, but I actually know that you are in the right place because we're going to walk you through the loan program that's helped many people become first-time home buyers. And even if you don't end up using the USDA program, Monique and I are confident that we can find you the exact program that would fit your needs. So welcome, everyone. Okay, so before we jump into the slide deck and I'm going to share my screen, I want to give a big shout out to Monique. She is an absolutely awesome real estate agent. She's got one of the best personalities that I've actually met in this business. And trust me, I've met a lot of agents in 20 years in my time in this business. And so she's sweet and a fantastic person, excellent at what she does. So if you're not already working with Monique, do yourself a big favor and make sure you stay close to her. Okay, so all right. So with that said, let's jump into today's presentation. Again, so we're talking about USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture loan. And no, it's not just a loan to buy cows and farms. It's a program that can actually help you as a homeowner, potential future homeowner, purchase a home, like Monique said, with very little to out of pocket. And that's what we want to do. We know we're living in times where it is maybe a little bit more challenging to purchase a home. And that's why Monique and I, guys, are really passionate around bringing you the programs that maybe you don't fully know about and fully understand, right? And bringing it from the backstream to the mainstream to help you know, hey, I didn't even know something like this existed. Hey, I didn't even know that I can actually get involved in something like this to help you purchase a home. And that's what we want to do, guys. We're passionate about helping families own a home. And so, again, we're going to walk you through this deck. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So just give me 2 seconds and I will share my screen with you guys. So share technology. I'm still working on my technology strengths and letting everybody know that. Okay. And let me know when you can't see my screen. Can you see it? Can you see it, Monique?
Looks good.
Awesome. Okay. All right, guys. So let's jump into it. So again, USDA. So it is a zero down loan. It's a real opportunity. It's a smart fit for this particular property that Monique is looking to sell as well. So let's go ahead and go through the slide deck. Okay. So what is USDA? It's a mortgage backed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So it's built to help moderate income buyers purchase eligible rural and suburban homes with zero down payment. So think about this loan product, guys, as if you're not necessarily wanting to purchase a home in the inner city or the metropolis or the metro area. Maybe you're trying to get away from the traffic jams and the hustle and bustle. this might be a great loan product if you want to live more in suburban neighborhoods, but also rural neighborhoods. And again, so fun fact, 97% of U.S. land is actually USDA eligible in those many suburban areas. Again, you're going to love the fact that it is a zero down loan program. Now, truth be told, I'm going to talk about VA loans for just a second. And the only reason I mentioned VA loans is VA loan also is a zero down loan program. And it's an excellent program. And God bless that loan program because that is for our men and women who served or are still serving our country. But with that said, USDA is going to be a second close to that for those who, who are still looking to get zero down. So think of this loan product again with no money down when it comes to your down payment. Do you have to have perfect credit score to get this program? No, you don't. So we actually are looking at credit scores around a 640. But if you have a lower score, you may still qualify. We have something called a manual underwrite. So whether your score is above 640 or below 640, again, still reach out to Monique and I, and we can take a look and see if this is a program that we can help you move forward with. Okay, so why does USDA financing stand out? Again, going back to that 100% of the purchase price. So if you're looking at a $400,000 house, you're looking at you're looking at a $400,000 loan. The second reason is going to be it does have competitive interest rates. USDA rates can actually be more competitive than conventional 30-year fix. So a lot of people always are looking at, conventional loans, and rightfully so, conventional is a great program. However, even with conventional loans, guys, USDA can still be give you a competitive interest rate. So that's something to keep in mind as well. The third reason and the third benefit that USDA stands out is the ongoing costs. So a modest annual guarantee fee replaces the traditional PMI. And maybe some of you guys have heard of PMI, private mortgage insurance, right? So when you put less than 20% down on a traditional loan, you have to pay PMI. Another reason is going to be, again, flexible credit. So USDA actually has no minimum score, manual underwriting for those under 640. So again, you don't have to have perfect credit in order to get into this particular program. Okay, so let's take a look at comparison, right? I like to compare apples to apples sometimes, and even apples to oranges. So, so USDA versus FHA, who's going to win? Let's take a look. So here's the real cost difference, right? This is based on a $200,000 example. So if you're looking at USDA right here, okay, you're looking at, again, zero down payment. Compare that to FHA. You're looking at 3.5% down. Looking at the upfront fee, USDA only 1%, whereas FHA is at 1.75%. Annual MIP, which stands for mortgage insurance premium. Now, mortgage insurance premium is different than PMI. I'm not going to bore you to death with those details, but it is a fee that these loan products do charge. USDA 0.35%. Compare that to FHA 0.55%. So the PMI there is a lot cheaper, right, guys? So, and then the mortgage insurance duration, life of the loan, unless refinanced. So there is that. Compared to FHA, 11 years of the life of the loan, depending on the LTV. So again, looking at USDA, looking at FHA, if the property qualifies, if you're looking at that particular area, then USDA might be the clear winner. But again, one thing that Monique and I love to do is we don't want to just kind of put you in one particular product. When we sit down with you and do your consultation and we start reviewing your financial strength, your credit, your income, your job, etc., we're going to get you into the right program. So maybe FHA might be the more advantageous, maybe conventional might be the more advantageous. But again, we're going to really look at USDA because you're looking at that 100% financing with all these benefits and features here, right? Okay, so who qualifies? So the home, it is based on location, as we said before, rural and suburban areas, right? Again, not living in the metro area per se. So the home must be a USDA eligible rural or in this particular area. And as you work with Monique, as she's searching for homes for you, she will be able to let you know if these particular properties are eligible. So think of it this way. The property has to qualify for USDA, but you as the buyer also have to qualify for USDA. And that leads into our second point here, which is the household income. So it is a loan product based on the average income. They call it AMI, if I'm not mistaken, average medium income for the local area based on the county, et cetera, and how many people are in your household. Again, these are details we're not going to bore you with now, but just understand, if you're a family of three versus a family of five or a family of two, based on how much income is coming into the home, we will be able to determine if USDA will, if you fit into the criteria. It is for primary residence homes, which is exactly why the product was built. Again, we're thinking about getting areas developed outside of the immediate city area as well. So again, it's going to be your primary property. It's not going to be made for an investment or vacation property. Those who qualify, U.S. citizens, but also non-U.S. citizens can qualify as well too. Depending on if you're a non-U.S. citizen, we will look further into your immigration status and try and see if we can get you qualified for that program. Again, this is all going to be part of your buyer consultation call once you complete the application, and we're going to review all of that. Again, so kind of going back into the profile of the borrower, stable income, and reasonable credit. Again, USDA doesn't have a hard credit score, but it is looking for, again, like I said, at 640. But again, if it's less than 640, we will review to see if we can still get you in the door with the program. So again, exact income limits vary by county, and that's why it's going to be important that you stay close to Monique, telling her what county you're looking to live in, and so on and so forth, because different counties will have different income cutoff limits. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so let's talk just a little bit about some common myths about USDA. So a myth would be that USDA loans are only for farms. Okay, so that's not true. 97% of US land qualifies, including, again, those suburban communities. And we do see actually a lot of new communities being built out there on the outskirts. And I'll let Monique, she could always jump in and share a little bit about that as well, because again, it doesn't have to be, a ranch in the middle of nowhere. It can be in the rural side, but there are some new communities being built. And again, this loan product is going to want to kind of continue to help develop those areas, getting buyers in those homes. So another myth is you need great credit. So again, going back to that part of it, there's no hard minimum for USDA, and the manual underwrite is available under 640. So keep that in mind. Again, not having to have perfect credit, we will look at this program for you and see what we can do. Another myth is that it's slow and complicated. And here's the truth, guys. Honestly, it can be. I've worked with lenders that they just don't know how to flow with USDA. I've seen it very common as well with VA loans. So think of it this way, just because a bank or a lender offers a loan product doesn't mean that they're actually the experts in that particular product, right? I compare it to saying something like, could you buy a pizza at a gas station? Yeah, you can. But should you buy a pizza at a gas station? Maybe not. I don't know, right? So, I mean, if you're really needing it, I guess. But if you want a good pizza, you go to an actual place that makes pizza. So the reason I share that is with Keys with Care, powered by Rice Financial Group. As Monique knows, we work with 100 lenders, guys. And so we know the lenders out there that really specialize in USDA or really strong in VA, et cetera, because just because the bank or credit union can do a loan doesn't really mean that they're efficient with it, that their underwriters are knowledgeable, that their staff knows really what they're doing. Maybe you can even relate to maybe your field and what you do, right? So that there's certain people who are stronger at certain things at your job, and that's just life, right? And so our job on the real estate side, Monique and I, we are here to help navigate that process for you, because again, all these lenders and banks out there, we might do the loan with a lender in Michigan or Miami or Texas or California. And so we know who's got the capacity, who's got the knowledge, and who's going to make your experience smooth and easy as well, right? So we want to make your life easier. We want to make our life easier in knowing where we're going to place your loan and who's going to get that done. And that way you guys can be confident when you're actually shopping with Monique, when you're out and about and you're driving to these houses and you're driving these neighborhoods and you're pointing stuff out with Monique, you can be confident that your pre-approval, it's almost a cashier's check, right? as I like to say. Okay, so last point here, rates can be higher because it's a government program. USDA rates, like I mentioned before, can sometimes actually be lower than traditional conventional 30-year fixes. So again, keep that in mind. So just because you're going to do a loan with zero money down, 100% financing, well, Kerry, does that mean that we're going to be paying higher rates? No, not necessarily so. And again, we're also going to know which lender is going to be offering those best interest rates at that time. So we want you to be mindful of that we've got your back there as well. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So why this matters for this particular home. So for the right buyer, again, USDA financing can open the door to this home and with no down payment, again, a competitive rate and potentially lower cost ongoing than FHA or conventional financing. So my commitment to you and my commitment to Monique as her lending partner is we're going to confirm to USDA the property is eligible within those specific areas and addresses. We're going to pre-qualify you, working with you as an interested buyer. So again, your main point of contact is going to be Monique. You're going to reach out to her. You're going to express your interest, and maybe you found a property not, or maybe you haven't. We always recommend that you do get pre-approved first, so we make sure that we know exactly what your buying power is. I like the word buying power, so you know exactly what that is. Also to match up with your budget, right? So if you're trying to keep your payment at $2,200 a month or $2,500 a month, we don't want to be shopping with homes that might be going outside of that budget, guys. And that's really important because at the end of the day, you're the one living in the home, right? You're the one making that house payment. And so we want to make sure that we are shopping for homes that are going to fit your budget. And you understand really what all goes into the monthly payment, your principal and your interest, your taxes, your real estate insurance, your HOA, if it is an HOA community, as well, right? So again, making sure we get pre-approved. We're going to walk you through those numbers so you have clarity. And clarity, I believe, in my opinion, brings confidence. So the more clear you are, the more understanding you have of something, you will have more confidence and you'll actually understand. So one thing that Monique and I love to do is we just love to be very transparent with you guys through the entire process, so you understand why we're maybe asking the questions that we are, why we're sharing with you the advice that you are, and so on and so forth, right? Because the more I feel we share with you of how the process really works, the higher your confidence will go up, and you understand how things are going to continue to progress and continue to evolve. And again, last point here is we're going to stay responsive through the application process. So Monique and I will continue to be your point of contact even after you find the home, when you go into contract. And that's really important, guys. A real estate and lender team is, it is so critical. It is absolutely critical. And it's important that your real estate team, your agent, and your loan officer are on the same team. We're working together. We actually like working together. There's some loan officers and agents out there, they don't like working together, guys. I don't want to tell you a secret here, but it's true. Okay. They see the phone ring, they're like, oh gosh, I gotta take this call. No, that's not the truth with Monique and I. When I see Monique call me, I love to get a call from her. I know it's always good news. She's got a bubbly personality. Even if it's just nothing real estate related, I know we're gonna have good conversations. So know that your team, your real estate team, getting along and liking to work with each other and having the client's best interest at heart, that is important to you because you're the one as the buyer that is going to benefit from that. So just keep that in mind. All right, so let's go to the last slide. Okay, so what would be your next steps? So your next steps, if you have questions about this particular property or any other property at all, USDA financing, even though we touched on FHA, VA conventional, connect with Monique. Connect with Monique first, right? And I have connect with Monique Care, but connect with Monique first because she's going to have that conversation with you initially, and what we need to do. And then from there, we can set up a call with myself. We can do a Zoom with you and have that. So if you've got your phones out, take a picture of this slide right here. You've got Monique's information, her phone number, her email, and then that way you can stay close to her. So That is all I have for today, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed this presentation. I really hope it's been a value add to you. We wanted to kind of keep it very high level. We didn't want to bore you with too many details because there's a lot of details on it. But again, you're working with a team that is extremely experienced. Again, I've been in the business for over 20 years. We love what we do. We genuinely love to help families own homes, get into real estate, and because we know that real estate can change their lives. You go from being a renter to being a homeowner, and it's a fabulous thing. So that is all I have for today, Ms. Monique. So I will turn it on back over to you.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Kerry. I hope this webinar was helpful for you guys. Next steps, of course, scheduling your buyer consultation with me. You have my information there. Of course, I'll reach out after the webinar. There's no obligations. We can go over your goals, your timeline, next steps towards home ownership. And then I will be emailing everybody a list of current USDA eligible homes in the area. And you'll be able to see our upcoming webinars as well. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much, Kerry, for being with us. I'll see you guys
My
soon.
pleasure. All right.
Bye.
Take care. All right.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.